I'm going to say something I never thought I'd say. All right. You ready? Do you have your seatbelts on? Right? No ejector seat hidden underneath like a Looney Tunes character. You're locked and loaded. You're way down. I don't blame Anthony Taylor. That's right. I don't blame Anthony Taylor. The official of the match between Everton and Nottingham Forest that prompted a video on this channel reviewing 3 different penalty shouts about Ashley Young, right? Because I have now been privy to the audio from the referee in that game. And obviously that's Anthony Taylor. I'm talking about the video assistant referee. And I think Anthony Taylor got put in a position to fail by the person that was working VAR for this game. So if you don't remember what happened, basically Nottingham Forest is in a relegation battle in the Premier League. They're playing against Everton. Everton ends up winning the game, but on 3 separate occasions, there are penalty shouts against Ashley Young. There's a video about it somewhere on this channel, and they were, especially one of them, pretty stone cold penalties. I believe going over all 3 of them, I basically understood how each of the 3 could have been a penalty. At least 2 should have been, and 1 I would describe as bona fide, stone cold, no doubt penalty, right? And that is the one which the audio has been released for. At least the one where the released audio has gotten the most attention. Because I think it hangs Anthony Taylor out to dry here. Being a referee, particularly at like a Premier League level, is incredibly difficult. The speed at which the ball is moving, the play is moving, the number of things you got to be paying attention to, right? And that is why VAR exists in the first place, because in those split-second bang-bang type plays, it is impossible as a human being who is a referee to be sure that you get all of them right. And that's where you need the person that is working as your VAR, as your video assistant referee, to be on the game. They need to be on the ball. They need to be there for you when you get something wrong. And for Anthony Taylor in this match, that just didn't happen. So we're going to review that one play. I've got the footage up for you. I would assume that it's okay for us to play on YouTube. If it's not, then obviously it'll be removed and I'll talk about it after. But here's the play.
Now, good. Only Ward's play on, play on.
Possible offside, possible pen.
Plays the ball, plays the ball.
So this was a very interesting clip. This is up and through the play. Now you can understand immediately how chaotic it is in these headsets for the officials. So the first 2 voices you're hearing in that clip are the assistant referees, right? The assistant referees are talking about one thing that's happening at the back of the play. The other assistant referee is saying only Wood, which means only Chris Wood is offside, right? Which means this play is onside, so they may continue. So that's what Anthony Taylor is hearing. That's what the guy that's working VAR is hearing. And then you hear Anthony Taylor saying, as you see on the screen right here, plays the ball, plays the ball, plays the ball. That's him talking to the players, right? You have to say that on the field. Like, hey, the reason I'm not calling a penalty, I believe that Ashley Young's playing the ball here, right? He's trying to make a play on the ball. He is playing the ball, right? Whatever it is, this is just not enough to be a penalty. And then immediately you hear the VAR come in. It says APP, possible offside, possible pen. The APP apparently stands for attacking possession phase. I guess that's just some sort of parlance to allow you to let the ref know kind of what sector of the field things are being reviewed in. So this, when the VAR chimes in, Anthony Taylor is having to kind of read and react to what's happening and slow the play down and say possible offside and possible pen is what's being reviewed here. So now you know all that. We'll watch it back one more time. So I thought it was so interesting to hear the assistant referee kind of communicating with the referee in real time.
Now, good. Only Ward's play on, play on.
Possible offside, possible pen.
Plays the ball, plays the ball.
You hear the VAR actually comes in there and is talking before you even hear Anthony Taylor saying he plays the ball, he plays the ball, he plays the ball, he plays the ball, he plays the ball. Let's continue.
Second possible penalty. Stand by.
Looks like he plays the ball.
Okay,
Check.
so coming again. Slowly, please, because it just comes in shots.
So you hear Anthony Taylor explaining, then he kind of turns to the VAR and he's saying, it looks like he plays the ball, so let me know if that's not happening, right? Saying basically, it looks like he made contact with the ball. This was a good challenge in there. And if it's not the case, then let me know. This guy's letting Anthony Taylor know that you got to slow the play down a little bit because the replay is, it's a little slow coming into frame or whatever. And that's when things get absolutely haywire. Because I think up to this point, Anthony Taylor's done everything right. Did he get the call on the field wrong? Yes, but it's a bang-bang play, and he has VAR to lean on in this situation. And if you're a referee, you know that if you make a penalty call, VAR is not going to overturn it unless it's incredibly obvious. And so it almost is behoove you to lean on VAR to make sure that you're going to be able to get the call right. And then Anthony Taylor clearly, on a quick ball over the top, is of the belief that Ashley Young was able to get a piece of the ball here. And to be honest, when you watch it in real time, you're not quite sure. But the VAR is not watching it in real time. They're freaking watching this, and this is what they had to say.
Okay, so they come together. There's mutual engagement between them before the playing of the ball, but it's more of a tussle than there's no Longy. What I'm seeing here is no clear action by the defender.
That's insane. So first at the end there, he's referencing the assistant VAR, so he's kind of bouncing the idea off the assistant VAR. But what this guy just said is absolutely insane. He says that it's a mutual tussle. He says that it's incidental contact, no clear action by the defender. He goes right through the back of the guy. I get that they're tussling shoulder to shoulder here, but Ashley Young lost the race. Right, the attacker is in front of him, and he goes through the back of him. If he's not doing that, right, the guy's scoring, and he's doing something that is not touching the ball at all. He says there's mutual engagement between them before the playing of the ball, but it's more of a tussle. I mean, yeah. What's the definition of a tussle? A vigorous struggle or scuffle. All right. Well, if that's happening, and Ashley Young doesn't touch the ball, this has to be a penalty, right? You can't just be vigorously struggling or scuffling with attacking players. That is a foul, especially when you don't freaking touch the ball. But he's saying there's mutual engagement between them, like they're battling. Yeah, they're battling to get in position. And then the attacking player for Nottingham Forest actually gets into position, and then Ashley Young keeps vigorously tussling with him, and he goes down. He says before the playing of the ball, like they both played the ball too. They didn't both play the ball. One guy played the ball, and the other guy played literally the back of his foot.
The ball, but it's more of a tussle than there's no Longy. What I'm seeing here is no clear action by the defender. Tails confirm on-field decision of play on check is complete. Both players tussle.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pause it.
Play on check is complete. Both players tussling for the ball. There's a degree of normal contact as they both play the ball in the same space.
And that's it. That's all Anthony Taylor can hear, right? Remember, he can't see anything, right? Anthony Taylor is just listening to this conversation. And I'm going to be honest, if you shut your eyes and listen to a conversation where this guy's going, there's mutual engagement, before the playing of the ball, and it's just more of a tussle really than anything. I don't think there's anything there. Both players tussling for the ball. There's a degree of normal contact as they both play the ball in the same space. He's not playing the ball. How? How can you be so wrong and be in charge of a VAR booth? Like, I don't know what the accreditation system is, right? I'm going to assume you have to work your way up as a referee for a long time, right, in order to get into this position, the same way as the refs on the field do, right? Maybe they're even rotating. You know what I mean? But you have to work, I'm assuming you have to work your way up for a very long time to end up in this position. You have to prove yourself over and over and over and over again to be able to get in this position, to at least be handed the keys to a VAR room in the Premier League. But how can you watch this play and say the words, they both play the ball, when Ashley Young, he's not even close to the ball. He's as close to cavemen as dinosaurs were, right? Like that, this is not he's in Narnia compared to the ball, right? He's all the way at the back of the wardrobe. He can't even see the ball because the dude's in front of him. Both players are tussling for the ball. That's kind of their job, I guess, but one of them is not actually involved in playing the ball at all. This is nonsense. But he says it with such calm confidence that even I find myself the first time I listen to this going, oh, maybe he's right. Maybe it's not a penalty. No, he's not right. Right? There's no playing of the ball happening from Ashley Young here at all. He lost the tussle. He's not in position, and he wraps him up around the arm, right, and goes right through the back of his foot and just knocks his legs out from under him, and it's a foul. But all Anthony Taylor is hearing is that it's a mutual tussle and mutual play on the ball. And Anthony Taylor, of course, in all the speed of everything, was convinced that Ashley Young had played the ball. And the question that he posed, not the question, but the phrase that he posed to the VAR was, looks like he played the ball. Looks like he played the ball. That means if he didn't play the ball, let Anthony Taylor go look at the freaking play again, right? Because Anthony Taylor thinks the ball was played, right? From the angle he had, from the speed of the play, he thought the ball was played by Ashley Young, and it wasn't. And the VAR just let my boy down here. But we'll listen to the end part of that again, just for posterity.
Confirm on-field decision of play on check is complete. Both players tussling for the ball. There's a degree of normal contact as they both play the ball in the same space.
Thank you.
And that's it. Anthony Taylor says thank you, and we play on. So while Anthony Taylor, same as any other ref, he in particular has been involved in some serious controversy for a missed call here or there. I don't really blame him for this one. If that's all he's hearing, then that's all he has to go off of. And obviously, you'd love to get every call right on the field, but the reason VAR exists in the first place is for when plays happen quickly, you're able to get a correct answer here. And somehow the phrase posed by Anthony Taylor just right over the head of the guy operating VAR, and he just makes this assumption that Ashley Young is somehow playing the ball in a situation where he's just not. Like he just dismisses this heavy amount of contact as mutual battling and tussling for the ball that Young doesn't get any of. I don't know, man. Kind of crazy to hear. I understand why they don't want to release this stuff live, because it is cool to hear how almost impersonal these sorts of conversations are, and I think they need to stay that way. Like, I don't think that these conversations should be broadcast live, but on decisions like this, releasing them after the fact can definitely help highlight that whoever is in these VAR booths is under a good amount of time pressure, even though it doesn't feel like when you're watching the match. This guy gets like 2 or 3 looks to decide the fate of an entire Premier League club, potentially, when it comes to the relegation battle. But also to highlight, like, we need to have a pretty good consensus about what everything is. You need to have almost a legal system of precedents, and you can use those precedents to apply to a situation. But whatever the precedent is, this is a penalty every day and twice, hell, 3 times on Sunday, okay?